The mysterious pendant Penelope. Summers wiped away tears before pushing open the door to Finnegan's Antiques and Pawn. The bell jingled cheerfully, mocking her grim mood. 6 months a widow at 32, and here she was, selling her husband Daniel's pocket watch to pay this month's rent. "Good afternoon," a warm voice greeted her. The shop owner had kind eyes and a gentle smile beneath his neatly trimmed beard. His name tag read, Oliver Finnegan. "I need to sell this," Penelope said, placing the gold pocket watch on the counter. It was my husband's. Oliver examined it carefully. Beautiful craftsmanship. "May I ask why you're parting with it?" "Necessity," she replied simply. "I've been struggling since Daniel passed." As Oliver inspected the watch, something caught his attention. "That pendant you're wearing, may I see it?" Penelope touched the unusual stone hanging from a silver chain around her neck. "This old thing? I don't even remember where it came from." And she removed it. Oliver's eyes widened. "This is extraordinary. The design resembles ancient meridian symbols." "Meridian?" she asked. "A lost civilization said to possess remarkable knowledge." Oliver gently took the pendant, and when their fingers brushed, the stone emitted a soft blue glow. They both gasped. "It's never done that before," Penelope whispered. Oliver turned it over, revealing previously invisible markings. "These look like coordinates." He hurried to a dusty map cabinet and pulled out a maritime chart. "If I'm reading this correctly, these point to an uncharted island in the South Pacific." "That's impossible," Penelope said. "It's just a trinket." Oh. Oliver's eyes sparkled with excitement. "What if it's not? What if this pendant is a key to finding something extraordinary? Even if it were true, what does it have to do with me?" "The pendant reacted to both of us," Oliver said. "I believe we're meant to discover this together." He paused. "I'll make you a deal. I'll pay triple what the watch is worth if you'll join me on an expedition to these coordinates." Penelope laughed incredulously. "You can't be serious. I've spent my life collecting curiosities, hoping to find something truly remarkable." His sincerity was unmistakable. This could be it. "I can't just leave everything to chase some fantasy." "What's keeping you here?" Oliver asked gently. The question hit her like a physical blow. Nothing was keeping her, no family, no job she couldn't leave. Just a small apartment filled with memories and mounting bills. "I'll fund everything," Oliver continued. "If we find nothing, you'll still have enough money to start fresh." That night, Penelope couldn't sleep. The pendant lay on her nightstand, occasionally pulsing with soft light. By morning, she had made her decision. "I must be insane," she told Oliver when she returned to the shop. He grinned. "The best adventures begin with a touch of madness." Within 2 weeks, Oliver had arranged everything: a chartered boat, supplies, and necessary permits. The captain he'd hired, Theodora Quinn, was a weathered woman with sun-bleached hair and a no-nonsense attitude. "You two treasure hunters?" she asked skeptically as they boarded her vessel, the Wanderer. "Explorers," Oliver corrected with a wink at Penelope. As the shoreline receded, Penelope felt both terror and exhilaration. The pendant warmed against her skin, almost as if approving her decision. "Ready for adventure?" Oliver asked, standing beside her at the rail, looking into his hopeful face. Penelope surprised herself with her answer, "More than I've ever been." Uncharted waters. 3 days into their journey, the sky darkened ominously. Captain Theodora studied the gathering clouds with narrowed eyes. "Barometric pressures dropping like a stone," she announced. "We're sailing straight into a tempest." Oliver glanced at Penelope, who stood on deck watching the Whitecaps form. "Should we turn back?" "Too late," Theodora replied. "Best secure everything and prepare to ride it out." The storm hit with ferocious intensity. Rain lashed horizontally across the deck as the Wanderer pitched violently. Theodora fought the wheel while Oliver and Penelope scrambled to secure loose equipment. A massive wave crashed over the starboard side, sweeping Penelope off her feet. She slid across the wet deck toward the railing. Oliver lunged, grabbing her wrist just before she went overboard. He pulled her against him, both of them drenched and gasping. "I've got you," he shouted over the howling wind, his arms tight around her. For the first time since Daniel died, Penelope felt protected. They huddled below deck, as the storm raged through the night. By morning, exhausted but safe, they emerged to calm seas and brilliant sunshine. Your pendant was glowing like crazy during the worst of it, Oliver noted. Almost as if it was protecting us. Penelope touched the stone, warm beneath her fingers. Perhaps it was. That evening, sitting on deck beneath a canopy of stars, they shared stories. Oliver spoke of growing up in his grandfather's antique shop, developing a fascination for objects with history. Every item tells a story, he explained. I've always wanted to find something truly legendary. Penelope revealed how she'd met Daniel during college, their simple life together teaching at the same school, and the illness that took him within 6 months of diagnosis. I've spent the last year just existing, she admitted. This is the first time I've felt alive again. Oliver's hand found hers in the darkness. I'm glad you came. On the 7th day, Theodora announced they were approaching the coordinates. The pendant pulsed with increasing frequency, its glow visible even in daylight. There's nothing on any chart, Theodora insisted, studying her navigational equipment with frustration. Trust the pendant, Oliver urged, as if responding to his faith. Mist parted ahead of them, revealing a lush green island rising from the sea. Theodora's jaw dropped. Impossible. That should be open ocean. Oliver's eyes shone with vindication. The island was hidden somehow. The pendant is the key. They anchored in a sheltered cove with crystal clear water. From the beach, they could see ruins peeking through dense vegetation on higher ground. That night, camping on the shore, Penelope found Oliver standing alone by the water. Having second thoughts? She asked. Not one, he replied, turning to her. Moonlight silvered his features. You. I should be terrified, but I'm not. She stepped closer. Thank you for bringing me back to life, Oliver. His hand gently cupped her cheek. Penelope. The pendant glowed warmly between them as their lips met in a tentative kiss. Penelope felt something long dormant awakening inside her, not betrayal of Daniel's memory, but permission to embrace life again. Theodora's voice broke the moment. You two might want to see this. She pointed toward the jungle. Amid the darkness, ancient stone structures were beginning to glow with the same blue light as the pendant. The island was welcoming them. The Island of Whispers morning revealed the island's true splendor. Exotic flowers bloomed in impossible colors, and birds with iridescent feathers flitted between trees laden with unfamiliar fruit. The ruins Theodora had spotted were more extensive than they'd realized, a complex of stone structures reclaimed by jungle. These carvings matched the symbols on your pendant, Oliver noted, examining a weathered column. This civilization? It's not in any historical record I know. Penelope traced the intricate patterns with her fingertips. It feels like they're speaking to me somehow. They followed a stone path upward, through the jungle toward what appeared to be a temple. The pendant grew warmer as they approached, its blue glow steady now. I'll scout ahead, Theodora offered, uncomfortable with the pendant's inexplicable behavior. You two check the perimeter. Inside the temple entrance, Penelope and Oliver discovered a chamber with walls covered in elaborate murals. They depicted people harnessing energy from crystals identical to her pendant. They were using these as power sources, Oliver whispered in awe. Technology we can't comprehend, disguised as mysticism. Suddenly the ground trembled beneath them. Ancient stone groaned as a section of ceiling collapsed, blocking their exit path and separating them from Theodora. Ah! Are you all right? Theodora's voice called from the other side. We're fine, Oliver responded. But trapped. Find another way in. As dust settled, Penelope's pendant illuminated their surroundings, a hidden chamber untouched by time. At its center stood a pedestal with an indentation perfectly matching her pendant's shape. Should I? She asked. Oliver nodded. We've come this far. When she placed the pendant in the recess, the entire chamber illuminated. Walls shifted, revealing a passage deeper into the temple. It's chosen you as its keeper, Oliver said softly. Just as I believed it would. In the dim blue light, their eyes met. Without hesitation, Penelope stepped forward and kissed him, not the gentle kiss they'd shared on the beach, but something hungry and needful. Oliver responded with equal fervor, his hands tangling in her hair. "I never expected to feel this again," she whispered against his lips. "To want someone this way, from the moment you walked into my shop?" He confessed, "I knew you were extraordinary." They explored the passage, finding themselves in a vast underground library of scrolls and crystal tablets, preserving the knowledge of an advanced civilization. They called themselves the Luminari. Oliver translated from one tablet. They harnessed energy from the earth itself through these crystals. Why did they disappear? Penelope wondered. Further reading revealed a cataclysm. The Luminari had grown too powerful, their energy manipulation destabilizing the very earth. They had sealed their island away, hidden from the world, preserving their knowledge for those worthy to rediscover it. The pendant chose you, Oliver realized. It's been waiting for someone with the right spirit to return. Hours later, they found another exit and reunited with a worried Theodora. "You won't believe what we've discovered," Penelope began, but Theodora cut her off. "We're not alone on this island," she warned. "I spotted another vessel anchored on the far side. Professional equipment, armed crew, they must have followed us." Oliver's expression darkened. "Victor Blackwood. He's been trying to beat me to significant fines for years. He's dangerous," Theodora added. "And now he knows about this place." Penelope clutched the pendant. "We can't let him take this knowledge. The Luminari hid it for a reason." Oliver took her hand. "We won't. Together, we'll protect it." As twilight descended, they made plans to explore the central temple chamber at dawn for Blackwood, as crew could reach it. In their makeshift camp that night, Penelope found herself unable to sleep. Oliver sat beside her, their shoulders touching. "Afraid?" he asked. "Strangely, no," she replied. "For the first time in forever, I feel exactly where I'm meant to be." Treasure and treachery dawn broke with golden light filtering through jungle canopy. The trio moved quickly toward the central temple, aware that time was against them. The pendant pulsed urgently, guiding them to a sealed doorway adorned with intricate crystalline patterns. The final chamber, Oliver whispered reverently. Penelope pressed her pendant into a matching indentation. Ancient mechanisms groaned as the massive stone door slowly parted, revealing a breathtaking sight-of-vast chamber illuminated by hundreds of crystals in various sizes and colors, each glowing with inner light. "Incredible," Theodora breathed. "Worth more than all the gold in the world?" Oliver approached a central altar where a book, bound in strange material, lay open. "The complete knowledge of the Luminari," he translated. "Energy manipulation, healing technologies, environmental restoration." His voice filled with wonder. "Penelope, this could change everything." She joined him, touching the ancient pages gently. "They left this for humanity to find when ready." "Are we ready, though?" Theodora asked pragmatically. "Look what we do with the technologies we already have." Their philosophical discussion was interrupted by slow, mocking applause. A tall figure stepped from the shadows, flanked by two armed men. "Magnificent work, Finnegan," the man said smoothly. "As always, you do the difficult part, and I reap the rewards." Victor Oliver acknowledged coldly. "I should have known you'd slither your way here." Victor Blackwood adjusted his expensive jacket with manicured hands. "I've been tracking your little expedition since you left port." His gaze shifted to Penelope. "And who is this lovely addition to your team?" "None of your concern." Oliver stepped protectively in front of her. "On the contrary," Victor nodded to his men, who grabbed Theodora, pressing a knife to her throat. "Everything here is my concern now." "The pendant, please." Penelope clutched the crystal. "You don't understand what you're dealing with." "I understand perfectly." Victor smiled coldly. "Power, wealth, prestige. All the things Finnegan foolishly ignores in pursuit of knowledge." Victor's men began filling bags with smaller crystals while keeping his gun. Trained on them, Penelope felt the pendant warming against her skin. Responding to her fear and anger, remembering the Luminari texts, she concentrated. Willing the energy to respond, suddenly every crystal in the chamber pulsed with blinding light. Victor and his men shielded their eyes, momentarily disoriented. Oliver seized the opportunity, tackling the man holding Theodora. "Run," he shouted. They fled through the temple passages, crystal light fluctuating wildly behind them. Outside, they raced toward the beach where their boat waited. "Can't let him have those crystals," Penelope gasped as they ran. The Luminari were clear about their power in the wrong hands. Reaching the shore, they pushed their boat into the water just as Victor and his men emerged from the jungle, firing warning shots. "This isn't over, Finnegan," Victor shouted across the water. "Well, follow us," Theodora warned as she started the engine. That night, in the cramped cabin of the Wanderer, Penelope and Oliver sought comfort in each other's arms. Their kisses grew desperate, hands exploring with newfound urgency. "If something happens," Penelope whispered against his skin, "I don't want to regret not having this moment." Oliver looked into her eyes. "Nothing will happen to you. I promise." Their bodies moved together in the gentle rocking of the boat, finding rhythm like they'd been lovers for years rather than days. Afterwards, lying in each other's embrace, Oliver traced patterns on her bare shoulder. "When this is over," he said softly, "what then?" Penelope smiled. "Something tells me our adventure is just beginning." Outside their cabin, the sea grew rough as storm clouds gathered once more. But this time, the tempest wasn't natural. The pendant glowed fiercely. Responding to the threat pursuing them across the uncharted waters, Victor Blackwood's larger vessel appeared on the horizon, gaining rapidly. New beginnings, storm clouds churned ominously as Victor's vessel gained on them. Rain began pelting the Wanderer's deck while Theodora fought the increasingly violent sea. "We can't outrun them," she shouted above the wind. "Their boat is twice our size, with 3 times the power." Penelope clutched the pendant, which pulsed in time with the lightning now streaking across the sky. The small collection of crystals they'd brought from the island hummed in resonance. "It's responding to my emotions," she realized. "Just like in the temple?" Oliver's eyes widened with understanding. The Luminar manuscripts mentioned channeling energy through intention. A massive wave crashed over them, nearly capsizing the small boat. Blackwood's vessel loomed closer, a spotlight cutting through the darkness to find them. Penelope closed her eyes, concentrating on the pendant warming in her palm. She visualized protection, safe passage home. The energy of the storm redirected. The pendant's glow intensified until it enveloped the entire boat in shimmering blue light. The waves around them calmed in a perfect circle. While beyond their protected space, the storm raged with increasing fury. Blackwood's larger vessel was tossed violently. Through the curtain of rain, they watched it struggle against waves that seemed targeted specifically at their pursuers. "It's working," Oliver whispered in awe, holding Penelope steady as she maintained her focus. A lightning bolt struck Blackwood's mainmast, setting it ablaze. The last they saw of the vessel, it was turning away, abandoning pursuit to fight for survival against the supernatural storm. By morning, they sailed through calm waters, exhausted but triumphant. Theodora plotted a course for home while Oliver documented everything they'd learned about the Luminari crystals. The healing properties alone could revolutionize medicine, he explained excitedly. And the energy applications could end dependency on fossil fuels. "Power like that will attract dangerous attention," Penelope cautioned. "Which is why we need to control how it enters the world," Oliver agreed. 2 months later, Penelope stood in the transformed space that had once been Finnegan's Antiques and Pawn, now Luminari Discoveries. The elegant showroom displayed carefully chosen artifacts, while the real work happened in research laboratories, funded by the ethical sale of minor crystals. Penelope Summers' foundation had already begun clinical trials using crystal therapy for previously untreatable conditions. Oliver had insisted her name lead their venture. "You brought the light back into my life?" He'd explained simply. The bell above the door jingled, and Oliver entered, carrying coffee. "The university team is making progress," he announced. "The crystals have successfully neutralized cancer cells in 3 different trials." Penelope smiled. Daniel would have been amazed. He always believed science would eventually cure the disease that took him. "He'd be proud of you," Oliver said gently, setting down the coffee to take her hands. "As am I." The pendant, now set in a more elaborate setting, warmed against her chest as Oliver knelt before her. Instead of a ring box, He held a small crystal that pulsed with multicolored light. "I'm not offering diamonds or gold," he said, "but a lifetime of discovery, adventure, and purpose. Will you continue this journey with me, Penelope?" Tears blurred her vision as she pulled him to his feet. "I will." Their kiss was witnessed only by the treasures surrounding them, artifacts of a past civilization that had brought them together and given them a future neither could have imagined. That night, in the apartment they now shared above the shop, their lovemaking held the sweetness of certainty. No longer desperate or urgent, but a celebration of the path they'd chosen together. "I never expected to find love in a pawn shop," Penelope murmured against his chest afterward. "And I never expected a weeping widow to change my life," Oliver replied, kissing her forehead. Outside their window, a gentle rain began to fall. Somewhere in the South Pacific, a hidden island waited, its secrets safe until humanity was truly ready to receive them. Until then, Penelope and Oliver would guard their knowledge, using it to heal rather than harm, to build rather than destroy. The pendant glowed softly on the nightstand beside them, no longer just a key to treasure, but a symbol of the light that can enter life even after the darkest storms. Penelope drifted to sleep in Oliver's arms, dreaming not of the past, but of the adventures still to come.